Good morning, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to teach you about the third eye chakra and how you can unblock and begin to open that chakra so that you can have a more balanced and healthy life. Now let's get started. Now, the third eye chakra, otherwise known as the ajna, is the word for to perceive. And in Buddhism, they call the third eye the eye of consciousness. Now, the third eye chakra is also most closely resembled to the pineal gland, which if you're on the spiritual journey, I'm sure you've heard a little bit about that, about how the pineal gland is the gland that's responsible, that is the antenna gland, the main antenna. As I've always said, that the mind is an antenna that connects, sends and receives to the universe. Well, it's believed that the pineal gland is sort of like the seat of that antenna in our mind, and that's what links physically to the third eye. Now, the third eye, it's also known for awareness or your spiritual seeing or your spiritual sight. So when people are psychic and they have abilities, it's that third eye that is the one that unlocks that seeing, that sees into the spiritual and the energy dimensions. The color is indigo. It's kind of like a blue-purple. So if you mix the blue and the purple together and you get that blue indigo, that's sort of the color of the third eye chakra. It's your sixth chakra. And this is our sixth video in the chakra series, because remember, we start at the root. The root is at your tailbone. Then you have the sacral, which is 2 inches below the belly button. Then you have solar plexus, which is at your physical solar plexus, which is right about the bottom of the breastbone where the ribs and the breastbone come down. Then you have your heart chakra, right between your chest. The throat, right here. Third eye, and then the next video, crown. Crown will be up here. The element that is thought to go with the third eye is that of light. Because again, the third eye is the seeing, it's your vision into those other realms. Now, when your third eye chakra is imbalanced, you can experience, some of these things. You can have confusion. You can have lack of purpose, lack of clarity, depression, as well as many other mental and mood disorders, because it's closely linked to the mind as well. You can have a lot of self-limiting beliefs. Those self-limiting beliefs, those negative beliefs, those negative self-talk, those kind of things can serve as a cover and a way of blocking your third eye. You can have quite literal vision and eye problems with your two eyes. You can experience headaches, again, because it's all linked. Where the chakra is usually links around to what's in the area. So again, eyes, your brain, stuff like that. So, and again, as we said in the law of polarity, every chakra can be either overactive or underactive or balanced. So if your third eye chakra is not as active, that's when it's closed off. You don't see as well. You can kind of be more stubborn and bullheaded about going through things. You don't see things from other people's perspectives. You don't see every angle and all the perspectives of a thing. But on the flip side, if your third eye is way out of balance over the top, you're up in the 10th dimension and, you've barely got one pinky down here in this 3D reality. And that's not a healthy place to be in either, It may serve a purpose for a hot minute, but we also need to remember our zip code. We got to do our taxes. We have to be in this plane. We can't be in the etheric realms with all the energy beings of light, for our whole life, or this avatar would wither away because there'd be no point of it. We wouldn't be connected to reality. So you can have a real disconnect from reality if you're like way over in the open side of things. So either way, you definitely want to balance. You'll be getting visions and all kinds of stuff, which can be cool and it has its place, but we don't want to stay there. We don't want to live there forever, as fun as it might be at first, because we're here in this 3D plane to experience the 3D plane. We're here, this is a school, and we have to take the curriculum. We can't be in school busy daydreaming out the window when we're supposed to be studying math class or, let's say, parent dynamics or something like that as our current karma incarnations lesson. So we want to make sure we stay on point. Now, we saw what an imbalance looks like. What does a balanced third eye look like? Well, you have mental clarity. Again, the third eye is clear. We can see clearly. We have insights that we get from that. We are connected to our intuition, right? We are in alignment with source energy. We are in alignment with that inner being. We are receiving the knowing. And you get that with the crown too, but the crown and the third eye are both kind of responsible for connecting us into those spiritual realms. You can experience bliss by being so strongly connected, but again, that's when you're starting to get into that overactive. Again, we can't be in bliss all the time. We're meant to experience the range of emotions here on this plane. You have decisiveness, you have good concentration, psychic abilities. Your self-expression is good. You've got inspiration. You're inspired. You can experience things like clairvoyance, clairaudience, all the different clairs. There's one for each one, for hearing, for seeing, for knowing, even smelling and tasting and touching. All the different clairs, clairvoyance and all those. You can see auras and energies if you're balanced and you've opened and you've practiced, you know, if that's one of your gifts and you've practiced it. You can work with energy easier. You can do maybe healing. Maybe one of your gifts, talents, skills, or abilities is the ability to heal, is the ability to channel that healing energy from the universe. Because when one heals, one isn't healing another. One is merely opening the conduit for the universe and source energy to flow through you to heal the other person in an energy healing sense. If you think you're busy healing someone with your own energy, you're going to burn out because you're just a little battery. We don't have that much juice, you know. The people that have the juice and do the big healings, they are channeling that infinite, abundant source energy. They know how to connect to it, how to open themselves like a giant pipe and just let it go through. They're facilitating the connection. They're not using their own energy to heal someone. Very spiritual connected, and you can have a lot of dreams and dream work, things like astral travel, things like lucid dreaming. That can be a lot easier if you've activated and opened your third eye. Now, let's get into, we've kind of went over the third eye chakra, what it looks like when it's imbalanced and balanced. Now let's talk about some of the crystals you can use to work with the third eye. The lapis lazuli, that was one that, if I remember, it was on the throat chakra video. So I always like to find, if this is your first chakra video with me, I always like to find the gemstones that work with the chakras, but particularly the ones that overlap. So lapis lazuli is a good one that overlaps with the throat and third eye. You see my ring, carnelian. Carnelian is good for root, sacral, and solar plexus. And that's partially why I wear this. It also has a lot of other properties. And carnelian comes in many flavors. This is the masculine form of carnelian because I am a masculine, and that's how I identify as masculine. And, you know, the darker reds are the masculine version of the carnelian. I'm also a Virgo sun, and that this corresponds with the Virgo sun. If you couldn't tell from my videos with whiteboards of information. There's other ones too, like I believe Amazonite. I want to say Amazonite was solar plexus and some other one. I don't remember. I have to go through the videos. But anyway, when you watch the videos, look to see which ones overlap, because then you can save on your crystal budget. You don't have to buy one for each chakra. You know, you can buy ones that overlap and help to work together. Purple or violet tourmaline. Again, because of the color of the chakra, you can also go with crystals that are of the same color of the chakra. So remember, the color for this it's that indigo, which is that blue purple. Because we can have violet, which is like the red purple, or purple, which is like a balance of the red and blue. But the third eye leans more blue, where the crown leans more towards the red side. So anything purple or blue, sodalite, and I mean amethyst. Most of us are familiar with amethyst to a degree, and amethyst is cheap and plentiful in quantity. So amethyst would be a perfectly good one to get. I would suspect amethyst is probably good for the crown too. I haven't done the research for the video yet, so I'm not sure. But I would suspect amethyst would be good for crown because it has that blend of those colors. And I apologize, everyone. I've had like some kind of cold or something going on for the last like 3 or 4 days, so some of these chakra videos, you can hear me scratchy and sniffy and all that. So I apologize if that's, you know, disrupting your enjoyment of this video, but I'm hoping to be back to better soon. We shall see. Exercise. Like I've said in every single chakra video, and I'll say it in the crown, physical exercise will help with all of your chakras. Why? Because it gets the energy moving throughout your entire body. It gets your blood pumping, it gets your heart beating, it gets your circulatory engine going, it increases your respiratory, you're moving everything around, you're burning fat, you're mobilizing your body, your avatar, and it's just gonna make everything better. Being out in nature is wonderful as well, especially if you have an overactive third eye. If your third eye is wide open and you're seeing beings on 3 different dimensions all the time and having conversations nobody can see, you're going to be well served by going out in nature. Why? Because nature will help to ground you. It'll help to bring that connection back down to the earth. Bare feet, if you can, because when you're barefoot to the earth, you make that connection to the earth. Reflexology, there are connections for all of our organs. The whole body is represented in the hands and the feet. If you believe in acupuncture and you believe in like reflexology, which I do, there's parts of the feet and the hands that represent every part of the human body. Ooh, knock my glasses off. And then again, when we're barefoot on the ground, we have that transference of energy. We have that electrical grounding that's happening. That's quite literally pulling some of the heavier metals out of our body. Like it's pulling that magnetically because our blood flows from everywhere, right? So our blood goes down to our feet. The blood does what? The blood carries things throughout the body, everything. So if you got any kind of circulating heavy metals going on that are more than you should have, that can help to quite literally ground it out of your body. Because remember, our skin is a permeable membrane. It's like, think of it like a castle gate with a bunch of doors. Some doors are open, some doors are closed. The ones with the right keys can fit through the membranes and get out. So our membranes allow these things to go in and out. It's how we also receive from the earth. If you actually go research it, in the soil, there are microbes and things in the soil that can actually have a calming effect on your mind, as strong as things like Prozac. I know that sounds woo-woo, but go look it up. I may choose to find it and put it in here. But yeah, there are bacteria quite literally in the soil. So when you're gardening and you're getting your hands in there and you're on your hands and knees, you're actually quite literally getting microbes that are calming your body down. It's pretty wild. Where do we leave off? Oh yeah. Meditation, as always, meditation, but specifically when you're working with the higher 3 chakras, meditation is really good. Whereas for the bottom 3, the more physical stuff can be better, even though meditation works for all of them. And physical stuff works for all of them. But for the top 3, meditation, and specifically you can do a meditation where let's meditate first for 5 or 10 minutes just to calm the mind. Let's calm the body, right? Then what we do is we switch the focus of the meditation to focusing on that third eye. You can even practice when you're in that meditation. Begin with the intention. Once you get past the first meditation where we calm, we switch to the intention of that, I'm communicating with the third eye. I ask my third eye to open. And when your eyes are closed, look up. Look up and feel. You don't want to look up super hard because you'll feel tension. Look up gently until you start to feel a little bit of that tension there, and then focus your awareness right here. And just keep, the intention of gratitude. I'm so grateful my third eye is open. I'm grateful to you, my third eye. Third eye, please open. Third eye, please open and connect me with the spiritual realms. Connect me with that spiritual energy. And while you're doing this meditation, it can be helpful if you're laying down. You can put your little amethyst here or any of the crystals that are mentioned. If you're sitting down, you can just have the amethyst in your lap is fine. All these crystals radiate energy and our auras go out quite far. So no matter where the crystal is in your aura, it will affect your vibration. And you can meditate to open that third eye. As always, there are some yoga poses that are compatible with opening each of these chakras. You've got plow pose, child's pose, and downward dog. I'm not going to demonstrate those here, but you can go on Google or YouTube and find videos for that. We may do a chakra yoga series where we just make a video of going through each one in series. And if that's something you'd like to see, drop a comment down below and I'll look at the feedback and we'll see if we make a video like that. Like we talked about in the meditation, expressing gratitude to your third eye. I'm so grateful for my third eye. I'm so grateful for my connection to the universe, my connection to spirit. Getting sunlight. And this is specifically sunlight at sunrise and sunset. And this is working with trying to help clear and activate the pineal gland for its role in the spiritual connection. Now, again, when we say get sunlight, again, huge disclaimer, do not stare directly at the sun. I know some of you at home are like, well, obviously, bro, I'm not going to go do that. You'd be surprised, okay? Do not stare directly at the sun. What we're talking about is when the sun is first coming up in the morning, between sunrise and the first few hours, what you want to do is go outside and be outside. The sun is somewhere. You don't want to look at it, but just, the sun's above you and you're walking around because the sunlight is hitting these receptors in your eyes, which then go right into your brain. And they can go into the brain and specifically into the pineal gland to help activate it, to help give it energy. And this is how you can wake up in the morning too. This is science, by the way, the waking up part. Go outside and just get sunlight. Getting sunlight, it's the receptors down here are the ones that wake you up when the sun hits them. Not up here, actually, because the ones down here point this way and the ones here receive light from down here. So by walking outside, you can even do this outside. And again, not towards the sun. Sun's over here. Sun's out of your vision. But doing this puts these receptors out higher, and then the sunlight hits it, goes into your brain, and it actually stimulates you to wake up. And in the same fashion, we can also get sunlight at sunset. And again, even though the sun is easier to see at sunset, do not stare directly into the sun. You will go blind. Okay? So if there's sunset, sunset's over here somewhere, be looking this way, and allow that sunset sunlight to hit your eyes. It'll help to resynchronize your circadian rhythm, but it'll also help with your pineal gland. And while you're doing it, set the intention, because 99% of all magic and all energy work is simply intention. It's simply your intention and the lack of your own resistance. Set the intention that I'm healing my pineal gland and I'm opening my third eye. I'm taking in the sunrise energy. I'm taking in the sunset energy and light. Now, that's our cautionary tale. Now, every chakra has a chant or a vibratory sound that goes with it. Now, for the third eye chakra, it's the Om. And Om is typically pronounced Aum. And you always want to, when you're doing chakra, you want to make, chakra, tell you I'm loopy today. When you're doing mantra, you want to make sure that you emphasize each of the syllables. So I'll demonstrate here. So you can do them as like short repeated. So you would do Aum, Aum, Aum. Or you can do like a full breath slow chant where we start with the ah and then we move into each syllable. And with the Aum, it's thought that the A starts down by the solar plexus, and as you move from the Aum, you're getting higher up into the third eye and the crown. And as you practice that mantra, give your awareness to where you feel the mantra as you move through the syllables. Like when I do it, I've been practicing this for a long time. I can feel that the A starts here. I can feel the U moves up into here. And when I start to hit the M, it immediately goes throat, third eye, crown. So you can just feel it moving. And I mean more of the vibratory energy. I'm not saying I feel the chakras opening. I'm not that far along the path. But I do feel that harmonics moving and resonating up through my body. Foods. Now, some foods you can have that'll help your third eye. Again, anything purple indigo. We're looking at berries. We're looking at plums, purple potatoes, beets, radishes, eggplant. Be careful with eggplant. Eggplant's got nicotine in it. So if you're someone that's like a recovering smoker like I am, I can't eat eggplant because I don't want to get stimulated by that and then end up having to scratch that itch. You know, I've been an off again. I was an off again smoker for shit since I was 16 probably. And now I've been off of it permanently for 3 or 4 years now. But the trick was I had to go drinking because anytime I drink, I'd have to have a smoke. So anyway, that's a tangent. Watch out for eggplant. If you're any kind of sensitive to nicotine, just drop the eggplant. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of other things, as well as raw cacao. Raw cacao, and I don't mean just going to the store and buying baker's chocolate. I mean actually procuring raw cacao from a reputable website that sells it. Raw cacao has a ton of benefits, and I think I'm going to make a video on that separately because the benefits of raw cacao are just incredible. It has so many good things in it for your body. And there's ways of preparing it where it's not just that bitter taste. So we'll make a video on that. But for the third eye specifically, cacao is good, but it is good for your whole body. Now we can end with some affirmations to what we can do to help open our third eye chakra. And the affirmations are all about opening and seeing because the third eye is very much one that if you're trying to work with it, we're trying to open it so that it can see. And we don't need it to be 100% open. Again, none of our chakras are going to be 100% open all the time because then we'd be an avatar, we'd be a Buddha, and there'd be no point for us to be here. So for our daily lives, our chakras need to be a little closed. You know, again, with the sun analogy, we don't need to be wide open, you know, when the sun's coming in, when we're out dealing with the reality and the energy around us. It's safe, and our third eyes can close down a little bit. We can meditate and open them temporarily just to receive that energy and that juice. But then when we're ready to go back to life, we can let them close to a comfortable area. Anyway, our affirmations. I am open to the universe. I am open to the spiritual planes of the universe. I make that connection. I am open to my inner wisdom. And when you're doing these affirmations, you can repeat them aloud and focus on your third eye as you say these. This is my favorite one. I see clearly. And when you say I see clearly, visualize both of your eyes and visualize that third eye being open. That third eye and that indigo color being open. I see clearly. And I'm grateful for my third eye. I see so clearly, Spirit. Thank you. And again, we made videos on affirmations. I'll leave one down below on the basics of affirmation. If any of these feel inauthentic, the easiest way to make it feel more authentic for your beliefs and your own inner being is to add every day. every day I see more clearly is more believable than I just am seeing more clearly. Every day I'm more open to the universe. Every day I'm more open to my inner wisdom. Every day my third eye opens a little more and more. So that's how you can do that and work with that energy. Well, my friends, that is our video on the third eye chakra. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I'm sick, guys. I'm like spacing out while I'm doing this. That's our video on the third eye chakra. If you like it, please smash the like button below, hit subscribe, and ping the notification bell so you don't miss another one of our videos. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.